When they throwing rocks at you, stay on the wall. If you come down off the wall to address haters and small people, see they eye level with you now.
Think that I've never seen a black person be involved with him and then come out unscathed without being tainted by his bullshit.
Lori Harvey posted this picture on her Instagram. She said, I hope y'all have had so much fun creating false narratives about me for clickbait because I'm about to have so much fun suing.
Hold up. DL Hughley just went all the way in on Steve Harvey, and the situation is starting to feel really personal now. Word on the street is their friendship didn't just fall apart overnight, it's been done for a while. Not some sudden fallout either, but something that's been quietly building behind the scenes. People close to the situation say the first real tension kicked in when Steve started getting friendly with Trump. And DL, yeah, he was not rocking with that at all. He even took it public and called Steve out. That alone had things looking shaky, but listen to this, it still wasn't the breaking point. The bigger issue allegedly came when Steve commented on DL's daughter, and from what's being said, it didn't land well at all. Sources claim it crossed a serious line and came off as straight disrespectful, to the point where DL reportedly decided to cut him off completely and keep his distance. Now DL is firing back and not holding anything in, telling Steve, mind your own daughter, you know, the fast one.
Be real careful, because Lori, boy, she be in my... I can't make no mistakes. I can't make sense. I saw one of her exes somewhere at a game somewhere, and I shook his hand. Boy, I can't even touch his...
Sources close to DL are saying, listen to this, Steve allegedly threw some real slick comments about DL's daughter Taylor and even hinted that DL wasn't doing his job as a parent. And hold up, that kind of talk hits different. Why would Steve question another man's parenting like that? That's wild, especially when we're talking about the same Steve Harvey who's been divorced twice, while DL has stayed solid with his wife, LaDonna Hughley, since 1986. That's over 4 decades of holding it down through real-life ups and downs. And yeah, DL has admitted he wasn't perfect back in the day, but they worked through it and kept their family intact while raising 3 kids together. Now, when it comes to those kids, things get even more serious. DL has a daughter who's part of the LGBTQ+ community, and Steve allegedly tried to throw that into the mix as a jab. And no matter how you look at it, that's low, especially when you consider how DL handled that situation with honesty and care. His daughter was reportedly nervous about telling him at first, and DL himself said that, given how close they are. But when she finally opened up, he stood right beside her publicly without hesitation. No apologies, no backing down.
The thing that bothered me the most is how that her fear of how I would react plagued her more than my actual reaction. And that I had done a thing, that obviously I had done something that would make her feel she was unsafe. That was hard to take, that I had fomented this idea in her that she wasn't safe talking to me. Like, I'm her best friend.
Did you already know before she told you? Oh, really? So it was a total...
It
usually parents say like, oh yeah, I've known since you were 5.
It wasn't
like,
a total shock, but it just wasn't something I thought about, but it wasn't... I can't say I was shocked, but I can also say that it's nothing I thought about. But I didn't freak out. It wasn't inconsistent with my idea of her. I didn't go, I didn't raise it, so it wasn't weird.
The fact that this actually hit DL on a personal level, but his daughter didn't feel fully comfortable telling him at first, says a lot about the kind of parent he is. And listen to this, most people wouldn't even pause to reflect on that, let alone admit it out loud. That kind of honesty about yourself as a parent is rare. Now here's the angle nobody's really highlighting when it comes to Steve. DL's daughter isn't out here chasing attention or trying to stay in the spotlight. She's not constantly popping up in blogs or getting tied into public drama every other week. She's actually married to her longtime partner, and she's been living her life pretty low-key, staying out of the noise and just minding her own business.
And when my daughter got married, both my daughters, but when my youngest daughter got married, I was so relieved that she was surrounded by love. It was like, I wanted her to be happy and safe. And now with both my daughters, I have to cede that to someone else. I have to say, well, this is not my responsibility anymore.
Was your mother at the wedding?
Oh yeah,
Okay, so she supported it. And
everybody. Yeah.
Okay, good.
It was
Good.
everybody who wasn't there. I mean,
Yeah.
but it was a lot of love and a lot of support, and she got the wedding.
Then you've got Steve out here on TV almost every day giving relationship advice, telling other people's daughters how to move and how to act. Still, people started side-eyeing when his own situation came up in the conversation.
And that's when things really started getting messy, because DL allegedly shifted the focus toward Lori. And Lori, yeah, her dating history has already been a constant topic online.
Steve even wrote an entire book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, building a whole brand around relationship advice and how women should carry themselves. But here's the issue people are pointing out. Lori's public dating life doesn't always match that picture.
Now, to be clear, sources say DL wasn't directly attacking Lori as a person. What he was really pointing at was the double standard. You can't position yourself as the go-to expert on relationships while your own household becomes part of the same debate.
And that's where people started pulling receipts. And when it comes to Lori Harvey's dating timeline, it's been widely discussed online for years. No secrets there, no hiding it. But when your father is Steve Harvey, people are going to connect dots whether you like it or not. It all reportedly started around 2016 with Memphis Depay, the Dutch footballer.
By mid-2017, they were engaged, and Steve was even publicly showing support and praising him. At the time, it looked like everything was heading toward marriage, but by 2018, it was completely over, ring gone, and the engagement done.
Then came Trey's songs, and things only got more complicated from there. Meek Mill even referenced Lori in his music, and rumors spread that he had to step back because Trey was already involved.
After that, her name got tied to Lewis Hamilton, the Formula One driver who's now also been linked to Kim K. Sources claimed it was a brief situation between Lori and Lewis, but nothing was ever confirmed, so it remained a rumor.
Then the story shifted into even more controversial territory with the Combs family. Reports started connecting her first to Justin Combs and later even to Diddy himself. And what really got people talking was the claim that Steve and Marjorie were comfortable enough with Lori spending time around Diddy. They were even seen on a family trip in Italy where Lori and Diddy's interactions at the table fueled even more speculation. Lori later pushed back on some of the narratives, especially the idea of overlapping relationships, but she never fully shut down every rumor either. And that's why people kept dissecting photos and appearances like evidence. The Diddy connection alone turned into its own headline cycle, with sightings in multiple cities fueling the chatter. The age gap also drew more scrutiny, especially given that Lori was in her early 20s. And since Steve and Diddy were reportedly on good terms, it made the whole situation even more uncomfortable for observers. And the conversation didn't stop there. After that chapter, things reportedly shifted again when Lori was linked to Future. Listen to this, an artist with a long history of complicated relationships and multiple baby mothers. They even went public on Instagram, traveling together and showing each other off openly. But then, the energy flipped fast. The relationship ended and Future even stirred the pot in his music with that line, "Tell Steve Harvey I don't want her." And you already know that one had the internet going wild. Then came Michael B. Jordan. And hold up, this situation felt different to a lot of people watching. Fans were heavily rooting for it, thinking Lori had finally found something stable and serious. Steve even publicly showed love to Michael and looked fully supportive of the relationship. But according to reports, behind the scenes, Lori didn't feel ready to lock in and felt things were moving too fast for her comfort. So eventually, she ended things. And sources say she even told Steve to tone it down and not be overly friendly with Michael in public after the breakup. And that right there is another layer of a story that's already very public.
Gotta be real careful, because Lori, boy, she be in my... I can't make no mistakes. I can't make stuff. I saw one of her exes somewhere at a game somewhere, and I shook his hand. Boy, I can't even touch his no more. I better not acknowledge him or look at him or nothing no more. So I'm off limits. If you are ex, your is my ex too. That's the rule. The rule in our house is any boy that's an ex, he's now my ex too. I must hate him like we would.
But Lori didn't stay single for long after that breakup. While Michael B. Jordan was still visibly dealing with how things ended, Lori was already being linked to Damson Idris, and people started paying close attention. Then things shifted again, hold up, because new rumors started spreading that she might already have moved on from Damson too. And the reason floating around? That he was too nice. Yeah, that claim alone had the internet side-eyeing the whole situation. Now, to be clear, none of that has been officially confirmed, But what caught attention was Damson being seen publicly with another woman, 21-year-old model Avari Lene. On top of that, people noticed Avari started following several of Damson's close friends on Instagram around mid-April. That could mean nothing, or it could be something, and that uncertainty is exactly what sets social media off. And Lori, from what it looks like, is not happy about any of this chatter at all. She even jumped on Instagram stories and made it clear she's considering legal action against people pushing what she calls false narratives. She wrote, "I hope you all have had so much fun creating false narratives about me for clickbait, because I'm about to have so much fun suing y'all." A lot of people think she's reacting directly to those too nice rumors and the Damson speculation. Still, those photos of Damson with another woman spread fast and got heavy engagement online. The comment sections lit up immediately. Some people pushed back, saying you can't sue just because people are discussing what's already public. And legally speaking, that's where things get complicated fast. There's a big difference between defamation and people reacting to public moments or gossip online. A lot of smaller creators and even some public figures mix those two things up. But reacting to public information is one thing, making false claims as fact is another. You can't just put your life online and expect zero commentary in return, but not everything people say crosses into legal territory either. Bringing it back to DL Hughley telling Steve to mind your own business, it starts to make a bit more sense in context, not necessarily because of Lori alone, but because of the public image Steve has built over time. He's made a career out of giving relationship advice, telling women how to move and what to look for in men. Meanwhile, people also point to his own family dynamics and relationships when the conversation turns personal. And Lori's dating history, engagements, high-profile links, and very public breakups keeps getting pulled into that same discussion space. Again, she's a grown woman, so nobody's questioning that she can make her own choices. But listen to this. The conversation keeps getting louder because Steve has built his entire public identity around giving relationship advice and guidance on these exact topics. He's also been very vocal about his protective nature, even saying that any man who wants to date his daughters has to go through him first. So when situations like this play out so publicly, people are obviously going to talk about it. And that's really the core point DL was pushing. You can't stand as the relationship authority for everybody else while your own family becomes part of the same public conversation. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about Steve allegedly making those comments about DL's daughter? And how are you viewing Lori's dating history and how the internet keeps breaking it down? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and share this video with someone who needs to see this.